Alright, so we're gonna start to fashion some arrows, and this is a cottonwood shaft that I harvested some years ago. Usually you want to harvest your shafts, your green shafts, when the sap is down, and that's usually in the fall and in the winter, and then it's easier to even see them as well because the leaves have fallen off and stuff. I also have another shaft here that is I believe this is an elm shaft, and what you do is once you harvest them when the sap is down, you bundle them up, and you store them in a cool, dry place. Traditionally, they would be along with any bow blanks or bow staves that would be stored at the top of the shelter or the lodge or the teepee or whatever, where the smoke would rise and it'll help cure the wood as well. So these have been this shaft has been with me probably about 2 years now, 3 years now since I've harvested it. So I'm just now getting around to this video of trying to make arrows. So bear with me as I try to fumble through this for the most part. So what I have here is I've got my cutting tool. You could use a stone tool as well. And what I want to do is I'm going to take my cutting tool, and with my shaft, it still has the bark on it and it's got some nodes as well. I want to hold the blade perpendicular to the shaft and just knock off any bark and smooth out any nodes. So that's kind of the first step, is to get rid of the bark. Alright, and so with a stone tool you can do the same thing. It just takes a little longer, and you might dull your flake, and then you can just discard and pick up another flake and continue on. So this is the process of removing the bark and smoothing out the shaft with a stone tool or your cutting tool. For the sake of brevity, or to be quick, we'll go ahead and just continue on using my a modern blade here, and just shafting this off, just knocking off only the nodes. Some of these nodes I can cut. That you're just kind of hacking them off, and these will all be smoothed down when we get the sanding process. Once you remove the bark from the shaft, now we gotta sand down these nodes here. And oftentimes it's best to try to find raw shafts or blanks when you harvest them that have little nodes as possible and as straight as possible. It's less work for you in the end. Okay, if this has a slight bend to it, we're going to be straightening this. And then this is it's got a lot of nodes on it, so try to avoid the nodes. Try to find something relatively straight. And that's really the process of when you gather your shafts, you harvest them and you hold them in the bundle and you wrap them tightly together and let them dry out for probably about a month or so. They'll stay relatively straight, but then you'll need to straighten these out nonetheless. And we'll go through that process in a little bit here. So in the meantime, taking a really rough grain sandpaper. Sandstone would work, or a piece of rock would work from a primitive standpoint. And I'm just going to wrap this around and just kind of start smoothing this out. And sand these nodes. Okay, now as a tip, you can use a towel or even gloves. Leather gloves would work as well. And you wrap your sandpaper around your shaft here, and then you run it through. This will help you avoid burning your hands because the paper is thick or thin. And then also, now I've got some cooking going on, and it's spicy, so that was that cough. But that brings me to the other point. The other point is that you want to make sure you have some ventilation so that the sawdust doesn't clog your nose and aggravate you if you have problems with that. So just a precaution. This should be done outside, or at least with a good fan going on. So right now, this is just for demo. So I'm using a towel to really get a good grip and try to sand this smooth. So now, what we're looking for, what's going to happen over time is one end of the shaft is where it was going towards the sky, and the other where it was coming from the ground or the base of the tree. This end is thicker than this end. This end is going to require a lot of sanding because the idea is for this to be a consistent diameter from end to end. Okay? So you're going to need a rough grain sandpaper, and you're going to be doing a lot of sanding. Okay, but again, the arrow is what does the actual work. You can bend any stick and it'll fly an arrow, but the arrow actually does the job. So you spend time on making good arrows. That being said, you want to make sure that you don't miss when you are hunting, because they take a lot of time and calories to create a decent arrow. Alright, so now as you are sanding your shaft down, you're going to be generating a lot of heat. And heat is what we're going to use to straighten the shaft. Okay? So as you're creating some heat here, this is an opportunity to start in between getting some rest here, kind of bending gently your shaft to shape. Like so. And over time, it'll start to conform. Okay? We'll use direct heat later. But for now, you can start to kind of mold the shaft into where you're trying to take it, which is straight. So you can sand it, generate some heat. And then shape it. And it will start to straighten up for you. So I've got a lot of work to do on this end to get this more or less the diameter of the other end. But you just take your time, turn on an audiobook, listen to the birds, watch the clouds go by, watch TV, and just sand. That's all it is. All right, so I think I've got this pretty much sanded down even enough. There will be some refinements, but now we're ready to straighten it. And you can kind of, hopefully you can see that there's going to be a lot of work as far as straightening is concerned. Now, one thing I'm going to say about straightening, it's very, very important to have a straight shaft for hunting and shooting. But with wild materials, there's going to be anomalies that's going to cause, the shaft to not, behave the way we want it to behave. That being said, we're not trying to make a tool or a weapon that's going to shoot 2 or 3 football fields accurately. All right, that's ancient humans, ancient man never fathomed that. All right, what we do is we will run the animals down until they're faster than us, they're stronger than us, but in fits and starts. And so what we can continue to do is out endurance them, and then at a relatively close range dispatch them, whether that be with a club or a rock or an addle or even a bow. So you're still at relatively close range when you're shooting, and that would be traditional hunting versus sitting in a blind hundreds of yards away and basically trying to pick off your quarry or your prey through the eye. That's more modern, high-tech archery, and this is primitive archery. This is primitive tools, and so it's not going to be 100% perfect. Now we're going to try to get this as straight as we can, but there needs to be an understanding between the differences of technologies and the resources available. Right? We didn't have lasers and mills. Now what we did have is groups of people that would take a round object, make it square so that it's perfectly uniform and square, and then make it round again. That's a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of work. It's much easier to just harvest the shaft that's already round and scrape it on a rock until you get it to the size and dimensions that you need, that's going to work for you. And so essentially that's what I've done with the sandpaper and sanding. And again, I don't have any sandstone, but that would be one opportunity. I could go out on the sidewalk and do this. It's kind of the same thing. You just need a rough, hard, abrasive surface to shape your shaft the way you want it to. And now what we're going to do is we're going to heat this up, and we're going to start the straightening process. In a previous video, or at least a short video that I put together, I had an arrow straightener, and it was a pretty rough one, and I needed to make another one because I can't find it. I misplaced it. I'm sure it'll pop up somewhere, but it was good, an opportunity to show how to make an arrow straightener. And these can be made out of antler, they can be made out of bone, and this is made out of wood, a piece of hickory, I believe. And you just bore a hole in it that's going to be greater than the dimensions of your shafts that you're going to be putting through. And what it's going to do is it's just going to give you leverage as we heat this to bend the arrow or the shaft and hold it so that it sets the way we want it to. Okay, it just gives you that leverage, especially on certain areas that can be really hard to straighten. Okay, so that's what this is. It's an arrow straightener, and I bored a hole on the opposite end using a pump drill. Hopefully I'll get an opportunity to make a video cataloging how to make a pump drill. But this is just so that I can have this, put a lanyard through a piece of buckskin here, and then so as I'm straightening this, I'll have this available for me to help me straighten this arrow. So that's essentially what this contraption is. So this is on, and I need a good source of heat, like a flame. I'm not out camping somewhere, so I'm using this to demo how to straighten this arrow. All right, or this arrow shaft. So we kind of got it looking like this. There's some kinks in it. It's not perfect, not straight enough. And so what we're gonna do is just gonna kind of heat it up. Keep it rotating as you put it on the flames here. And then you want to hold it and put a set in it while it cools, and then you'll feel it kind of take the straightening step. Okay, and then as it cools, and it's good to do this with a pair of gloves, you know, if your hands are really tender. Again, don't heat this up and make it to the point where you can't touch it. Okay, use common sense, please. All right, so we have a section here that's really not very straight. We got a little bend in there, kind of a sharp bend here. So I want to heat this up, and we're going to use our arrow straightening tool. And I just want to heat this up a little bit, and then I want to insert this right where the kink is, and I want to work against where that bend is. Just want to hold it right there until it cools off a bit. And that'll start working the bend out of that. Take this down here. Gently. Yep, and that starts to take the bend out of it a little bit. And those are especially good for really sharp kinks in your shaft. So yeah, that turned out pretty good. Just want to heat this up a little bit more. I can use my hand. Okay, so hopefully you're getting the idea. And this is turning out pretty good. It's turned out pretty straight. You know, it's starting to get there. And it's just one of those things where you kind of chase the straightness of the arrow, of the shaft. And you kind of have to kind of keep working at it. But the idea is to hold the bend until it cools down a bit. That's looking pretty good. And actually, I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to just use a finer grit sandpaper to finish this out. And the heat that I'm going to generate with that, I'm going to just continue to tweak it and flex it. Get the bend out of it.